The WNBA just released their 2024 MVP ladder. A'ja Wilson 1, Napheesa Collier 2, Sabrina Ionescu 3, Breanna Stewart 4, Alyssa Thomas 5, and honorable mentions, Caitlin Clark. Clark has found a synergy with her teammates and elite comfort on the floor as a facilitator and creator. She's knocking on the door of first team All-W and top 5 finish in MVP voting. The MVP award is subjective. It's very hard to just go by numbers and hand out this award.
You won't believe what Rachel DeMita just said about the WNBA's MVP ladder. She's calling out the league for snubbing Caitlin Clark, and her reasons will blow your mind. Is the WNBA really trying to keep the golden child off the ballot? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Let's talk about Rachel DeMita for a second. She's not just some random person talking trash. She's a big deal in the basketball world, former D1 player, host of NBA 2K TV, and now a major sports commentator. When she speaks, people listen. And what she's saying about the WNBA is huge. DeMita thinks the league is making a massive mistake with their MVP ladder. It's all about Caitlin Clark, and it's got everyone talking. But here's the thing. This isn't just about one player. It's about the future of women's basketball. DeMita thinks the WNBA is messing up big time.
While the Fever underwent understandable woes in the first month of the season, Indiana is 14-6 over their last 20 games, including 2 massive wins coming out of the All-Star break. Caitlin is currently averaging more points than that. Candace has more rebounds by a solid amount. But look at these other stats. Caitlin is averaging more assists, more steals, more three-pointers per game, and a higher free throw percentage. But the goalpost for Caitlin continues to move. It's like the better she does, the further they move their expectations or what she would need to do.
And the consequences could be huge. You know what's crazy? This could change everything we know about the league. While the WNBA's decision could reshape the league, there's an even bigger story unfolding on the court. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing well. She's rewriting the record books. But if you looked at the MVP ladder, you'd never know it. What's the WNBA trying to hide? Let's talk numbers. Because in basketball, stats don't lie. Since the All-Star break, Clark's been on fire, averaging over 25 points per game. That's not rookie numbers, that's superstar territory, and it's not just empty stats. The Indiana Fever have turned things around, going 14-6 with Clark leading the charge. But here's where it gets wild. Clark isn't just scoring. She's dishing out assists like a seasoned point guard and snagging steals like a defensive specialist.
If we look at their stats, A'ja wipes the floor with both of them. The only categories that she doesn't have are assists, three-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Caitlin has all of those. She should absolutely, if not in the top 3 where I have her, she should absolutely at least be on that ballot. Look like the most cohesive team, and Napheesa can take over the game at any point in time. We've seen her do this on multiple occasions. She's kind of like a silent killer. She doesn't do much. You don't see many celebrations from her. She has not only become a better player, but she has made her teammates substantially better, and they are now winning games.
She's outperforming players who are sitting pretty on that MVP ladder. It's like she's playing a different game out there. You know what's even crazier? There's this stat called points generated. It's not just about how many buckets you score, but also the points you create for your teammates. Guess who's leading the entire WNBA in that category? Yep, Caitlin Clark. She's not just a scorer, she's a one-woman offense. So we've got a player who's scoring like crazy, setting up her teammates, playing defense, and helping her team win games. Sounds like MVP material, right? Well, apparently not to the WNBA. It's like they've got blinders on when it comes to Clark. Think about it. How often do you see a rookie come in and just dominate like this? It's rare in any sport, but in the WNBA, it's practically unheard of. Clark isn't just living up to the hype, she's exceeding it. She's making veteran all-stars look like they're standing still. But here's the kicker. The WNBA seems to be pretending it's not happening. It's like they're watching a different game or something. How can you ignore numbers like these?
One more thing on Caitlin, which makes her super valuable, is she is leading the WNBA in points generated, which means points scored and or points assisted on, the most valuable and most impactful to the team. And maybe this is a friendly debate that we'll probably be having until the end of time. It happens in the NBA all the time. Well, I already know that A'ja Wilson won. Like, that's the standard if you talk about this conversation, which I think is a little weird. I feel like we should be able to just talk about it.
It's not just about points on a scoreboard, it's about impact on the game. And let's not forget, this isn't some mid-season hot streak. Clark's been doing this consistently. Game after game, she's out there proving why she was the #1 draft pick. She's not just the future of the league, she's the present. You've got to wonder what the WNBA is thinking. Are they afraid of a rookie shaking things up? Do they think it's too soon to put her in the MVP conversation? Whatever the reason, it's hard to justify when you look at the stats. It's not like Clark is some unknown player coming out of nowhere. She was a sensation in college, breaking records and drawing massive crowd. Now she's doing the same thing in the pros, but the league seems to be turning a blind eye. This isn't just about individual accolades either. Clark's play is elevating her entire team. The Fever went from being bottom dwellers to playoff contenders. That's the kind of impact that should be in the MVP conversation. Imagine dominating the league, breaking records left and right, and still getting passed over for MVP. That's exactly what DeMita thinks is happening to Clark.
When we talk about the value to the team, A'ja Wilson is absolutely valuable to that team. However, they have other players who are also so valuable. Category is just about how you think about it. Do you think about it as the single best, most skilled player in the league, which right now is A'ja. But I do understand why maybe you would have 2 players from the Liberty in the top 5. With that being said, if they continue to play like they're playing, the Fever are going to make a run in the playoffs. And that might sound crazy for me to say, but this team is starting to gel.
But why would the WNBA ignore their brightest new star? Let's talk about the MVP mess in the WNBA. Rachel DeMita isn't just throwing shade, she's shining a spotlight on a system that might be more broken than a rookie's jumper in their first game. The current MVP criteria? It's like they're playing favorites with the established stars on top teams. But here's the kicker. Clark's changing the game, and the rules aren't keeping up. You know what's wild? DeMita's saying the expectations for Clark keep shifting. It's like trying to hit a moving target. One day they're saying, oh, she's just a rookie. The next it's, yeah, but can she lead her team to the playoffs? Clark keeps answering every challenge. But the WNBA keeps moving the goalposts. That's not just unfair, it's crazy. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. There's this big debate about individual skills versus team impact in MVP voting. Some people are saying, well, her team's not at the top of the standings, so she can't be MVP. But DeMita's not buying it. She's arguing that a player can be incredibly valuable even if their team isn't sitting pretty at #1. And you know what? She's got a point. Think about this. Candace Parker. She's a legend, right? Well, in her rookie season, she averaged 18.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 3.4 assists per game. That's incredible. But Clark, she's putting up over 25 points per game since the All-Star break. She's not just matching Parker's rookie season, she's blowing it out of the water. But here's where it gets really messed up. The WNBA's MVP system looks more busted than a player's ankles after a nasty crossover. It's like they're stuck in the past, not ready for a rookie to come in and shake things up. But DeMita's not just complaining, she's got ideas to fix it. She's saying, we need to look at the whole picture, not just team rankings, but how a player impacts the game. Points generated, assists, steals, all that good stuff. And when you look at it that way, Clark's not just in the conversation, she's leading it. You know what's even crazier? This isn't just about Clark, it's about the future of the WNBA. If they can't recognize talent when it's staring them in the face, what does that say about the league? Are they afraid of change? Or are they just not ready for a new era of women's basketball? Hold up, is the WNBA playing 4D chess with Caitlin Clark's career? Rachel DeMita thinks they might be holding her back on purpose, and her reasoning will make you question everything you thought you knew about the league. You know how everyone's been buzzing about Caitlin Clark's insane rookie season? Well, Rachel DeMita just dropped a bombshell that's got the basketball world spinning. She's saying the WNBA might be keeping Clark off the MVP ballot on purpose. Yeah, you heard that right, DeMita's exact words. If Caitlin Clark is not on the ballot, it would just be keeping her out so that we didn't praise the golden child too much. That's huge. It's like the WNBA is afraid of their own star player. Can you believe it? But why would the league do that? DeMita thinks it's all about control. The WNBA might be worried about giving too much shine to a rookie. They've got these established stars, right? And suddenly this new kid comes in and starts outplaying them all. It's like the league doesn't know how to handle it. Think about it. If Clark gets on that MVP MVP ballot in her first year, what does that say about all the veterans? It's like the WNBA is trying to protect their old guard. But here's the thing, by doing that, they might be shooting themselves in the foot. You've got to wonder what this means for women's basketball. If the WNBA starts ignoring amazing performances just because a player's too new, what kind of message does that send? It's like telling young ballers, hey, even if you're the best, we might not recognize you. That's messed up. And it's not just about Clark. This could change how future stars see the WNBA. Imagine being a high school phenom, dreaming of going pro. You see someone like Clark dominating, but not getting the recognition. Wouldn't that make you think twice about your future? DeMita's not just throwing shade though, she's pointing out a real problem. The WNBA's got to decide what's more important, protecting their established stars or celebrating the best basketball no matter who's playing it. This isn't just about one MVP race. It's about the future of the whole league. If the WNBA keeps ignoring talent like Clark's, they might miss out on the next big thing in women's basketball. And that's not good for anyone. You know what's wild? This could be a turning point for the WNBA. They've got a choice to make. Stick with the old ways or embrace the future. And that choice? It could change everything about how we see women's basketball. Think about other sports. When a rookie comes in and just dominates, they usually get recognized, right? Like when LeBron first hit the NBA, everyone knew he was special. The WNBA's got a chance to do the same thing with Clark. But will they take it? It's not just about giving Clark an award. It's about showing that the WNBA is ready to evolve, that they're not afraid of new talent shaking things up. Because let's be real, that's how sports get better. New players come in, raise the bar, and everyone has to step up their game. But if the WNBA keeps Clark off that MVP ballot, what are they really saying? That they're scared of change? That they don't trust their fans to handle a new superstar? It's like they're underestimating their own league. Alright, let's break this down. Caitlin Clark's been tearing up the court, but the WNBA's MVP system seems stuck in the past. It's like they're scared of a rookie shaking things up. Rachel DeMita's not having it though. She's calling for a total overhaul of how they pick MVPs. DeMita's got a point when she says, if Caitlin Clark is not on the ballot, it would just be keeping her out so that we didn't praise the golden child too much. That's crazy, right? The league should be celebrating new talent, not hiding it. Here's the thing, this isn't just about Clark. It's about making the WNBA fair for everyone. DeMita's telling fans to speak up, saying, your voice matters. The fans have the power to shake things up when we speak out. The leagues listen. So if you think Clark deserves a shot at MVP, make some noise. Share this video, tweet about it, tell your friends. Let's show the WNBA we want a fair game for everyone.